and this, I think, goes back to the very first question, which is these are two distinct investigations. We are here today to announce the indictment of Stephen Bannon and We Build the Wall Incorporated for a year-long fundraising scheme that netted more than $15 million from thousands of donors across the country based on false pretenses. Specifically, the false promise that all of the funds obtained to We Build the Wall will go toward the construction of a wall on the border of the United States and Mexico. And that, and I quote, not a penny, end quote, would go to its president's salary. But instead of pennies, the president of We Build the Wall received more than $250,000 in a salary funded by donations, at least $140,000 of which we allege was laundered by Steve Bannon. Bannon and We Build the Wall have been charged in a New York State Supreme Court indictment with 2 counts of money laundering in the 2nd degree, 2 counts of conspiracy in the 4th degree, 1 count of scheme to defraud in the 1st degree, and 1 count of conspiracy in the 5th degree. Those are the charges set forth in the indictment. In a series of payments throughout 2019, Mr. Bannon directed We Build the Wall to transfer tens of thousands of dollars at a time to a not-for-profit corporation. This not-for-profit corporation, Bannon's not-for-profit corporation, then paid a salary to the We Build the Wall president, thereby obscuring the source of the funds, in direct contradiction to the many, many promises made by Bannon, We Build the Wall, and others associated with this scheme. In August 2020, as many of you know, Bannon and 3 other individuals were indicted by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York for crimes related to this fundraising scheme. And then, just months later, Mr. Bannon received a presidential pardon from President Donald J. Trump, former President Donald J. Trump. We then began investigating and determined that Mr. Bannon must be held accountable in this jurisdiction, the jurisdiction of New York State, for his conduct as the architect of this scheme, which impacted hundreds of Manhattan residents. So you can't incarcerate an entity. It's a financial penalty.